morning that I've gotten up and like gone to work, I have wanted to like listen to morning tea on my way to work because I'm just like, what's going on? You know, what's happening? What is CLC and everybody else in Prague got to say about what's going on? You know, I want the tea. I need morning tea.
I don't know. What is the rest of Prod gonna say on morning tea? Let's ask Kadri.
I'm not Kadri. I'm in my Carl era.
So Kadri obviously has been hosting the challenges. He's been doing a fabulous job always. And I did come home last night watching Trey's because he had posted his score in the prod chat. I said, "Wow, I can't wait to watch this travesty."
And it was.
And the first thing I want is Trey going, "Hello, Black CLC," and that really took me the fuck out at like 10:30 p.m. at night.
It was a good time. It was a good time.
Trey is always super fun to host, even if he's got awful at pretty much everything. But
he went, and Lee and I asked if he had any more questions, and no, he had none. He gets to the end and is like, "So how many pairs did I get?" Lee came off camera and was like, "What are you talking about pairs?" He's like, "I was looking for pairs." Like, no, bitch, you were not looking for pairs.
Put the symbols over there.
And even if he was looking for pairs, he thought he had 3. So out of 100 possible points, 3 is not a winning score regardless. Anyway.
I just don't. It makes more sense given his tiebreaker. It makes a lot of sense. Sometimes we make these challenges and I don't think they're that difficult. I feel like they're pretty easy to understand. Like Liv makes me feel like I'm not a crazy person.
Yes, absolutely.
Liv shows up, shows out, and I'm like, great. The write-up made sense. We're hosting and it makes sense. And then Trey goes and makes me really question humanity.
Thank you. Like after he left, I was like, Lee, did I like mess up in the write-up? Like, I thought it was pretty self-explanatory.
Me every fucking season with these people, like not just 20 people, but like hosting challenges in 19 and 18 and 17 and 16 and 15. There are certain people every round that I go back to the prod chat being like, can someone watch that and tell me, was I crazy?
Like yes. I get it now.
Gibberish.
Now. I was like, no,
I didn't think it was that hard.
I'm like rereading the write-up and I was like, no, like I said that. Okay, I didn't mess up there. Okay, not even being prideful, Kadri, but like I think you're good. I don't think this is on you.
I have watched myself host challenges so often because I start to question if I like missed a whole paragraph in the write-up because I'm like, did I not explain that? No, but that's what I felt last night watching both Trey and Michael do this 30, 29, 28, 27.
And this right here.
26.
We were talking with him after the stream ended. And I was like, Michael, can I ask a question? Why were you counting so slow? I thought it was against the rules. I didn't think I could count fast. And I was like, babes, we never said you couldn't.
I just need you to count from 30 to 1 backwards. I don't care how fast you do it.
Trey, I'm so sorry. Whenever you watch, actually, I'm not sorry because you deserve this. You forgot often what number came next. It wasn't just one time.
He went 12, 11, 10 and had a full-on 3-4 second break and did not know that 9 comes before 10.
And then went back to 12.
It fucking tickled me watching those last night at 10:30. I shouldn't cackle, and I thought Trey had the record for lowest score and he doesn't. I'm so upset.
Really?
Tony does. Tony had lower.
With what?
18 by 1.
And that tracks. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. R.I.P. But anyway, we're here to Anyway, I just had to, because that's what I'm catching up on. Because if I have to host today, I want to make sure I'm hosting consistently. So I just have been enjoying watching the other three of them, and Trey's really fucking tickled me for all the wrong reasons. But time to talk about day 25. R.I.P. Sarah. I'm still in mourning. The stranglehold this woman had over these people. The stranglehold she will continue to have over these people. It's really
had the
unfortunate.
girlies pressed. And for what?
Literally for what? Like, y'all. And I don't know how many of you will actually religiously watch this back. Many of you probably won't, but y'all were so pressed by her, and it's like the oh god, what's the mythical, it's the freaking, oh god, it'll come to me in a little bit, but it's that story of the dude who builds the statue and wants it so badly to be real, and then it eventually becomes real. It's that theory that, like, if you manifest something so hard it becomes truth.
Yeah, Pinocchio.
Sure, but there's some like old fable about this happening, and there's a whole like complex around it. But like, they put so much stress and pressure on themselves in relation to Sarah, and then like that it just had to become true. And I mean, she did win 5 challenges, but like they just like put
She
so
had
much,
to win those challenges.
yeah, like they put so much into the fucking ether about her.
Like, she would walk in and breathe, and Jabbar and co would be, she's got to go. She's got to go. It was
Pygmalion effect.
Barbecue Betty, Peppermint Patty, like the never mind. That's racist. I can't say that.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Foster and I were just talking about the Peanuts a couple weeks ago, where Peppermint Patty's friend, even though Peppermint Patty's a woman, keeps calling her sir, and that just really fucking tickles me. Oh my god, the fucking 50s were wild. The fucking 50s were insane. But let's get to day 25. So where we left off, Jabbar's your HOH. He nominates Sarah and Megs for eviction with the intention of sending out Sarah. After the nominations, we talked about this on yesterday's tea, that Liv doesn't, or I guess 2 days ago, that Liv does tell Jabbar about the advantage in the sense of that she has it. And Jabbar obviously is trying to figure out like what you got. I mean, he very much is like, he today was like, Liv, are diamonds your best friend? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Like, he's definitely trying to get all the information he can, because he's trying to play around this advantage, which Liv should not have even clued him in that she had it, but you know what it is, what it is.
I said this with the legacy key thing. I wish they wouldn't have told so many details about it. Like, they didn't need to explain everything. So props to Liv for keeping some things, and also lying about the extent, like, it does run out. Like, I think she said it runs out soon or something like that. Yeah. Like, she was very vague. So like, I don't love that she did tell Jabbar of all people, but at least she's keeping some of it tucked away for her.
Because Jabbar told Lamont that he knows she has it, so Lamont also knows, and we all know Lamont will spread that like a motherfucker, so it'll be very quick before that gets out. But Liv has kept all of the details, at least to just Trey. But Liv has done a good job of threatening Jabbar, being like, I've told no one, so if you tell someone, then I know you did it. Which Jabbar obviously went and told Lamont anyway, so you know, I don't think Jabbar was too scared by that threat. But Liv did a great job at least holding back. She's definitely alluded to that it is an advantage that has pros and cons, as does every advantage. That's the beauty of horoscopes. Like, she's just speaking in such general terms to make sure it appeals to whoever's reading it. And she's done a good job there. I mean, she knows what she wants in terms of the advantage. She just needs people to win challenges on her side so she can actually utilize this for its full benefit, instead of her having to play it defensively. She can play it offensively. But we'll have to see if she's given that opportunity. But it definitely did scare me for a bit that Jabbar was going to do something sinister against Liv, because Jabbar has had an advantage in the past in our game. He knows it's all about the windows. He knows as soon as a window opens that any advantage in reference to that ceremony can no longer be played. So he knows what he's doing. So I'm sitting there being like, Lord Jesus Almighty, if he snakes her, I will have an absolute conniption.
I would have flown to wherever he's at. I'm not going to dox him. And I would have forfeited my spot on Prod to beat that ass. And that's
I'm a live truther. I am, and I would have been so upset. But I mean, it would have been completely, just and right for him to do it. But I would have been very upset. Agreed.
Not the ghost.
Truly.
Not
the ghost agreed. The ghost agreed. Don't come for Liv.
That's Erica.
Girl, Erica and Sarah are gonna haunt this house. I fear if the people on the Jabbar side get to the final two and Erica and Sarah have to kick off finale night.
Going back to back, that is torture. And I'm here for it.
That is going to set your foundation of your finale night at a 0. You're going to start on empty, bitch.
And not only that, and we said it before, based off of how they treated pre-jury, the management has already kind of been atrocious, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, it has been.
Like, Jabbar sending, I didn't even watch his video. I just read what Erica had to say about the video. And it was like, I love him outside of this game. But this is bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, it's just all of these players, and maybe because I've got no time for bullshit, and I relate to Sarah in this regard. Like, how fucking dare you? She's got no time for bullshit. Just say what you want. Just say what you mean.
And I respect that in a person and a player.
And there have been so many people who today, and to Erica and to plenty of the pre-jurors, have been like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I wish I could do more. You can do more. You can vote to save me. It's exactly what Sarah said last night. She's like, you're sorry that I'm going and you want me to stay and you want to do more. Well, you can do something. And that is in the 30-minute window, you vote to save me. So don't sit here and cry for me when you can do something about it. And like, that's what I think these messages are doing a really poor job of illustrating, is that they're in their goodbye message being like, I'm so sorry this had to happen. Like, I really love you. I wish we could have played together more.
Mm-hmm.
With Sarah, sure, it was Yunnan, so like there really wasn't any traction. But like with Erica, bitch, one of you flipping your vote ends in a 4-4 tie. Nikki sends out Michael. So don't sit here and say you wish when you could have. Like, huh?
And that's why I think who was she on call with? It was Sarah, and I want to say Megs or Megan. It was yesterday, I believe. And I've said this since forever, but Sarah is sitting there and she's like, I wish people would just vote the way they want to vote. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I keep hearing, well, the House is voting this way, but I want this. And it's like, at some point, you have to realize that you are part of the House.
Yeah.
So if you just say what you want to happen, other people in the House would hear that. And she's like, I need more people to do that. And I'm like, Sarah, yes. Like, this cast truly did not deserve her. They don't deserve her wisdom.
I just don't get why people in Big Brother are so afraid to vote the way that they want. Like, it's just, I just don't.
If you're honest about it, like Preston earlier in the season, who did he vote for?
Madison.
Madison?
Well, he voted to save Madison. He evicted Michael.
Yeah, he was like, I voted to save Madison. Like, just came out, and I'm like, yes, thank you. We love that.
No one cared.
No one cared. They literally didn't blink. They went on about their business.
Yeah.
Like,
it just, I just wish people would just vote the way they wanted. Sure, the votes wouldn't have been there anyway, most likely, but it's just whatever. We'll get there. it's just not a great day for Sarah. There's just no way. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Her and Erica were left out of the side. They're still on the side. They're part of the mission to get rid of Jabbar, Lamont, Louise, and Nikki, but they've left out of the alliance. So when Jabbar is going around saying his target is Sarah, which is what Phoenix wants, and it's also what Dancing Queens wants, it's like, it's a done deal. Yeah. It doesn't matter. She has to win veto if she wants to stay. I mean, Jabbar hops on call with Liv and basically gets her to confirm that she would evict Sarah. He gets on call with Megan to get the same thing. Even though his call with Megan is interesting, because this is in reference to when Jabbar did not tell Megs she was going up until like seconds before the video launched. And this is Megan and Jabbar talking about how Megs knew she was going up because Lamont told her. Because Jabbar had told Lamont, one of the only people he told who was going up, and Lamont told Megs before Jabbar could, which kind of, perturbed Jabbar a bit, being like, really? Like, really? You're really going to do that right now? Just a fun call or a fun message. This is messages, I think. But Megan I just live for the cast and being petty. I do love pettiness. And Jabbar is just bitching about how Lamont went behind his back and tried to distance himself from the nomination set. And Megan's like, well, I get it, though, because y'all are a package deal. So I get why he'd want to distance himself. And Jabbar's like,
clock me then.
I said, oh, you better read Megan. You better fucking read his ass. But I just think it is just, I just love poetic messages. Back. I just love that. Just like, oh, you're mad about your number one trying to distance themselves from the nomination that he actually did not want you to do. So interesting.
I love pettiness, but there's a fine line between pettiness and just stupidity. And I think Jabbar, while it was a successful HOH in his terms, I think where he really dropped the ball is literally being on call with Michael and telling him, yeah, I'm not calling Megs. I'm not calling her. I'm not going to talk to her until the nomination window opens. And at this point, he did think that Megs had the power. So he wasn't for sure on Liv having it yet. But still, jury management. So if Megs were to go out here or anytime in the future and Jabbar sitting at the end, Megs is not, at least in my opinion, is not the type of person that's going to forget.
I'm still high on the HOH, but because realistically there was very little to lose here.
I think it's a great HOH. He got out his biggest target. We still don't know why she was his biggest target, besides being a comp threat, I guess. But she was backed up into a wall. So in that sense, he got out his biggest target. Great. He got rid of a number from the other side, even though she wasn't really aligned with the other side. She just had ties to the other side. So it's good in that sense.
Yeah. He definitely
A plus. It's like a B plus.
Yeah, he definitely weakened some relationships he had on the other side, but realistically, I don't think they really would have turned into anything. Those roads definitely seemed opportunistic. If his side continued to win, that those people might come groveling.
Yeah.
But realistically, he didn't have much to lose. So, but I do think he has set himself up a precedent. So if someone on the other side is to win today, they don't owe him anything. They surely don't owe him the heads up either. So I'll be intrigued to see how that management of it all, finds its way full circle, maybe. But that depends on this group finally fucking winning something.
I'm manifesting a Megs HOH.
I think,
and her sitting on call with somebody and being like, I'm not calling him.
I'm not calling him. What about it?
Send him a message as soon as the nomination window opens. Hey, by the way, I'm putting you up. Well, I done already seen the video.
Yeah.
I've also done heard from Lamont.
Yeah, literally.
This is timely, Jabbar.
This took me the fuck out when they were just doing the stupid niceties crap of how's your day going, and Jabbar's like, I think my class hates me, and Megs is like, good. Tomato. I love the pettiness, I really do. But just all day, everyone is basically just talking about how they're going to evict Sarah in this configuration against Megs. I mean, Sarah's biggest asset that she can campaign about is that she can win challenges. She is someone, if you harness her, can win and do something that is beneficial to the group that saves her. Obviously, when she's up against someone like Megs, who also can win challenges, that's not necessarily a great argument against someone in the Dancing Queen's power structure. So this is a bad nomination set for Sarah. But I did think that maybe, just maybe, if she's up against someone who's batting, I don't know, 0, that she would have somewhat of a fighting chance. But we'll get there here in a second. The veto happens. I mean, Megs absolutely kills it and uses it on herself. To my knowledge, the only way the veto was being used were if the noms were to win it. I don't think Jabbar, Louise, or Nikki use it, considering they want Sarah to go. And like, what's the point of changing the noms if you're confident Sarah will leave as well? And then Megan, even though she wanted to use it, I don't think she would have. Especially knowing that it's just going to be another person from Dancing Queens going up. So it's like, what's the point? Like, you're going to use it to just send up another ally. So just let it be, send Sarah out. So the only way that's being used is if the noms win it. And of course, the nominees are the top 2 scorers in the competition. And unfortunately for Sarah, she is beaten out here by Megs. And that's the thing, is people think that Megs has been throwing everything. I don't think she has been throwing everything, or even a good chunk of things, while Megs doesn't want to win everything. I just don't think some of these challenges have been up her alley. Yeah. And that's okay. But this definitely, I think, given how much Megs absolutely obliterates everyone, gives validity to what people are thinking, which is Megs has been throwing, and then you put her feet slightly close to the fire, and look at that. Oh, she just munched. Look at that. So unfortunate that storyline is continuing, because I really just don't think there's any actual truth to it.
And I need people just to I need people to just understand that someone is not going to be good at every single comp.
God forbid. Like, I don't know why these people, like, I don't know if Ryan Taylor has just set the bar so fucking immensely.
And I was about to say, I need Ryan Taylor to sit his ass down and shut up.
Like, I don't understand why these people think that just because someone's a comp threat, that means that they're good at everything. Like, sure, I'm good at challenges. I fucking suck at anything dexterity. If you ask me to balance some cups, bitch, I'm out.
I'm great at challenges. I suck at puzzles.
Like, just because someone's a comp piece does not mean that if they suck once or twice that they're throwing. It's just not the truth. And it's unfortunate that I think she's getting a little bit of that.
Thank you, Lee.
Retweet. Yeah, like, everyone has their kryptonite, and for Megs, it's math. She's not a math fan, and she's not like huge on word games. That's just not Megs's forte. So when people are like, she threw Wheel of Fortune, no, I don't think she really did. She threw math bingo, no, I don't think she did. But they're gonna sit here and claim left and right that she did, because she's supposed to be like ultra competitor who has no flaws. But whatever.
I haven't looked at the calendar, so this is like a legitimate question. Do you remember the sounds challenge from 16?
Oh yeah, cliffhanger. Yeah.
Is that a thing this season?
No,
I feel like Megs would eat that up as an audiologist. I just found out yesterday.
She did it. Oh, actually, we might have done it in 17 after she was evicted. So I don't think she actually ever did it.
Dang.
Yeah, I don't think she's ever done that challenge. No, I didn't put it on there because I know Stokes has been super busy and he's the one who does it. So I didn't put it on there. Because I know he's been incredibly busy and didn't want to put that extra stress on him. But if he wants to, and he wants to hit me up, I will gladly remove a challenge I have on the board and he can have it. But my gut says is he's still very busy. Yeah, it's unfortunate for Megs that narrative is going around. But it is what it is. She's safe. She's off the block. She's going to the top 9. And Jabbar has to figure out a renum situation. Unfortunate for Jabbar, because he's out of commission at work, so he's having to do all of this over text, which is comical. It's always funny when this happens and people are losing their shit behind closed doors. But once again, leave it to Nikki and Lamont, who are trying really hard to push their narrative of getting Liv and Sarah up on the block next to each other. It's what they wanted initially anyway. But we had talked to Jabbar after his veto round, and Jabbar's like, I am so sick and tired of my allies trying to push their own fucking agenda onto my HOH. Like, I asked for your opinion, point blank, say your opinion, and then we're done. I don't want you to keep pushing shit on me. No, I asked for your opinion, and we're done. I don't need any more. He's very tired of the fact that they keep pushing Liv, trying to push Liv on the block, and we know that he's cut a deal with Liv. He knows about the advantage. Liv is saying she will not use it to hurt him. I don't know if that's true, but that's what she's saying. So I think Jabbar knows that he doesn't really have many avenues on the other side, and Liv and Trey are kind of the two that he feels the most confident in, hence why he ends up putting up people like Megs and Megan and Sarah, and told Michael he was considering him, but he never told Liv and Trey he was ever considering them. I think he's trying to keep those options open in case maybe, just maybe, a shakeup happens. But Nikki is texting Jabbar being like, you want Sarah to go, but Sarah told me that she's the most confident that Trey and Liv will vote to save her. And that she had called Liv, and Liv was like, she's open to the idea of saving Sarah. But we know Liv, as much as she cares for Sarah and has a better working relationship with Sarah than a good chunk of the Dancing Queens, she's not going to do that without the numbers. Yeah. She's not going to backstab that alliance unless the numbers are there. So as much as Nikki is saying it, which like isn't untrue, but like it's not true in the sense of like it's just not going to happen. So Nikki clearly is just trying to get her preference of getting Liv up on the block. Lamont's doing the exact same thing. He's like, Liv texted me today that she feels for Sarah. She's going to try and save her. You should put her up there. It's just so clear what they want. And Jabbar sees through it. Jabbar tells them both, like, hey, I could put up Liv. Mm-hmm. Sure. She could go up on the block and get evicted, and then the power's gone. Slay. But Jabbar's like, I am not going through all of this and not sending Sarah home. And the fact that you all so badly want Liv on the block makes me nervous that you're going to evict her. So guess what? She's off the table. But I think is a great read. I still don't think Liv leaves against Sarah. I don't. I still think Dancing Queen sticks together. Mm-hmm. Because I also think I don't think Louise even votes out Liv there, based on their call. They had a call during the day, and Louise is like, I love Liv. So I don't think they have the votes to send out Liv, even if someone like Megs feels for Sarah and flips her vote. I just don't see there being 4 votes to evict Liv.
I'm not believing a damn thing that Louise says.
Also that, I mean, that's the thing is Louise was busy. I'm not sure if Conquest shit hit the fan or something. She was super busy last night, like for like 4 a.m. her time. So I was like, babes, what are you doing?
All of the tribes decided to do their comps back to back to back.
Oh, fun.
So it was like an hour and 15 minutes each. So we were very busy.
Jesus. Yeah, I had a feeling it was Conquest related because like she was out of commission. So just because Louise is saying that and she had no time to actually consider the vote, I would imagine she would still evict Sarah there, considering they have no working relationship. But Jabbar, good read to be like, you know what, Liv's off the table. Like, I'm sorry, she's off the table. Stop suggesting her. But he's like, you can suggest Trey though. I mean, he has a deal with Trey, but I think he more so he's protecting Liv because one, she's a huge threat. He thinks he can stay against her, which isn't a bad read. Like in a couple rounds from now, I think people are going to be like, if we have a shot to take out Liv, we might as well fucking do it because she's got a great story. I think he has a good read there. Trey doesn't have the same, story. He doesn't have the advantage. There's a lot of reasons to save Liv here and not put her up on the block. So
I love that he did not consider Liv or was like, she's off. I love that. Yeah, I do wish that Liv would have made this her own. And I wish to God, because like they have the numbers. If she plays her power and does a double veto thing or whatever, Yeah. Or I guess it.
I mean, that's her. I mean, the only option
like,
she has.
and whatever. Like she saves Meg, or Meg saves herself. She saves Sarah and herself in the making, and then Jabbar is forced to put up Megan and someone else.
Megan for sure, and then either Michael or Trey has to go up in the other spot. I just don't know who the other. Yeah, I mean it has to be. Or it has to be. Yeah, Megan, Michael, Trey. Yeah. So pick your poison on what three or what pair we get there. But I know we talked about this in the prod thoughts or in the game updates. Like I'm not very high on her using the second veto just to piss off Jabbar. Like I know it would be great team TV, but like ultimately an ally still going up and an ally still going out. So
I think I backed off on that mentally as the round went on. The more that Liv was doing a seemingly good job of convincing Jabbar that she has his back in some capacity.
Yeah.
I think that if that had not happened, I think I still would have. But I could have seen it happen, but I've backed off of thinking it had to happen.
Yeah, like I would just rather her use it for herself. I'd rather her use it when she actually feels she's in danger, because I also worry how her allies will see her when she plays this, and they're like, "You didn't tell me. You didn't feel comfortable enough to tell me you had this." So I fear that I need her to use it for her own self and be like, "Hey, I was being selfish. I told no one. I'm using it for myself. Sorry."
And if you're an ally and you're upset that someone didn't tell you about something like that, maybe sit down.
Yeah, grow up in fucking org culture. They all fucking will be. They'll be like, "Wow, so Liv doesn't trust me."
Yeah, and I'm just like, go outside and touch fucking grass.
They always fucking do. So I have no doubt that they will. So I'd just rather her use it for herself, and that will hopefully lessen the blow of people being like, "You didn't tell me," but whatever. But yeah, like Liv does a great job. Jabbar's like, "Liv, can you promise me you're not gonna pull any fucking hijinks today?" And Liv's like, "I promise you, nothing's happening. Like, don't worry, nothing's coming out. So please don't try and flush anything or try and do something stupid. Like, I got your back here." So Jabbar is mostly just out of commission, and like we've known it. I mean, he doesn't tell anyone until like the last minute that's going to be Megan, but we've known it from the second he won HOH.
Mm-hmm.
Let me rephrase. The second he competed in HOH, I knew his score was going to win. Then I asked him what he was going to do, and I was like, "All right, so you're renomming Megan. Great, awesome." So we've known it. Like, as much as he like considered Trey and had told Michael he was considering him, we always knew it was going to be freaking Megan. But ultimately, he's nominating Megan because their connection has dwindled as time has gone on. He fears that Megan has other avenues that don't include Jabbar. She will always prioritize Megs over him. Correct. And he really feels the need to double down on targeting House B because they came in so kumbaya. He wants to keep breaking them apart. But he presents it more so as, "Megan, I need Sarah to go home, and no one's going to evict you. So don't hate me."
Which he was right.
Yeah, I mean, very correct.
And Megan, this all worked out fine for Megan. Megan's going to be fine. But I said this somewhere, that she did the thing that Jabbar does, that if I ever played with Jabbar, I would never what?
I'm sorry, I just noticed your name.
Oh.
Keep going.
If I ever played with Jabbar, I would never in a million years even give an inkling of doubt between us. And Megan came into the first of a couple conversations with Jabbar yesterday, the day before, with like "I trust you, I think you trust me," like just enough doubt where then Jabbar comes, and same thing happened with Caro.
Yep.
Comes running, Jabbar's like, "I don't trust Megan now," or like there's doubt there, and now if you have doubt with me, I have doubt with you, and that was all Jabbar needed to put her up. So like, and I wonder if Megan comes in with like full confidence with Jabbar, if that changes anything. It might not. But I think that was enough for Jabbar to nominate her, and it didn't. Like I said, Megan's just fine, and was probably coming after Jabbar anyway.
So if she comes at Jabbar the way she handled Preston, in that like Preston and her kind of started to shift apart just a little bit, and she was very doubtful of where he stood in the game. But she was like, I can't let him know that.
Yeah, you got to act like you're besties.
But literally, and they would get on call and act like nothing's wrong, and then she'd be in our projects like, what is Preston doing? I don't know. I don't think I can trust him. If she handles that, handles Jabbar the way that she handled Preston, I think we absolutely see a different chain of events.
Yeah, like you hop on call with Jabbar when he wins HOH, and you're like, "Oh my god, I'm so ecstatic and elated that you won! Literally, you're my person. I like can breathe easy this round."
I'd be like, "Bitch, what are we doing? What do you need me to do? Like, am I driving the getaway car? Who do you need me to bus?" Like, Jabbar's someone you got to give the world to.
No, she very much was like,
you yeet that shit away from him as soon as his power is over.
Yeah, very much was like, I feel like we haven't been upfront and forthcoming with each other. I want that to be better. And she definitely, on day 25, like day 24 after he won, she definitely was trying to insinuate, like, hey, like, and I guess that's probably the therapist in her is like, she would rather be self-aware of the fact, like, hey, our relationship hasn't been the strongest lately. And I recognize that, but let's make it better. I think she's taking the role of, I'm not going to try and bullshit him. Let's be honest about the situation, and hopefully he'll respect my genuineness with him. But it doesn't.
And look, we're the only ones that see how Jabbar processes those things.
Yeah,
the rest of the players do not.
Great. Which is so you see doubt between us. Great, you're at the bottom of the rankings, and on day 25, while he's at work and not talking to anybody, and the paranoia starts to set in because Meg's got blindsided with her nomination, and she's worried that she's going to get the same thing. She's just unpromptedly double, triple, quadruple, quintuple messaging him about all of like the reasons she shouldn't go up and why she's a great ally for him. And I'm like, babes, this is giving desperation. It's giving that you do have doubt about your relationship with him, because if you felt confident with him, you wouldn't be doing this.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that Jabbar's like, great, that's all I needed to know, that I am correct in doubting where we stand, and you're going up. I don't think his mind was going to change. I think Jabbar knows that Liv and Trey are his only options on that side to have anything moving forward, and they're not strong options, but they're options. And what does nominating Michael? And I think that's the big thing there is like, what does nominating Michael do for me? And those are really his only options, Michael or Megan. And realistically here, if he wants Sarah to go, the fear is that people see a benefit to Sarah and see no benefit to Michael. And they go, you know what? We'll take the comp threat. We'll take her on our side. Michael, have fun with Erica. We're going to take Sarah and demolish the other side. And it's a good read because, I mean, as much as I still think Michael stays, but like, it's a fair read that they could be like, you know what? No, we don't actually need Michael. We will take the potential consequence of Sarah winning out. But let's get to it. It's Sarah v. Megan, and I'm a little surprised that Sarah didn't have more. Like the vote was not as live as I thought it would be.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't
never
think Sarah
live.
would stay. I never thought that. But I thought she would have more of a fighting chance up against someone who bats 0 like Megan does. Megan has won not a challenge, nor has she really been that close to winning a challenge. Other than, I think, the Cup's endurance, she wasn't terrible. Well, in her own house, she was very far off. But like in the grand scheme of everybody, she wasn't that far off from being a top scorer. But other than that, she hasn't been that strong. And I'm surprised that for a side that now has lost back-to-back HOHs, didn't, like Sarah won the veto at Live Night. This group has not won a ton collectively outside of Liv and Megs. You take them out of the consideration. The rest of you all are not boding well competition-wise.
And I just don't understand why Sarah wasn't included from the jump.
Well, that period. I just don't. I'm just shocked that they didn't consider the possibility that if Jabbar's side keeps winning,
we keep losing.
Yeah, you can do a cost analysis thing between Megan and Sarah. I love Megan and I love Sarah. Sarah is the person without a doubt that I am keeping because Megan is only providing social like threat. Like she's playing a social game kind of thing and is getting clocked. Not like an imminent threat right now, but like it will be in the next few rounds kind of thing. Sarah is the only person that could possibly help keep other people safe from that side. So I think this is arguably a horrible trade-off for the Dancing Queens.
I love Megan with all my heart. I just don't think that she provides enough of an asset for this group at coming into top 9 to be worth it. And the whole conversation was, with Sarah gone, we can win. Looks at the results, removes Sarah. Nope, you still don't win. Nope. Like, it just was such a strange analysis to be like, with Sarah gone, we can win so much more. I'm like, the other side has won the last couple chat. What do you mean? What do you mean without Sarah?
Right, which is why I'm upset that Sarah wasn't included to that initial we. She was just not, and I don't know. I don't understand it. Like, they could have just added her. She could have just been a part of the rest of them. It didn't have to be like, no, Megan, add Sarah. Because like if they bring Sarah in from the start, I'm curious. Yeah, if that she's now in this. How does that change things? How do people look at this vote now?
Yeah. Because the mentality very much was like Dancing Queens has to stick together.
Right.
We need to value the relationships that us 5 made pre-live night out of a whim because House A was a disaster and fucked over Caro, and it was out of convenience. But they're like, we have to stick together, even though we're a group that also has not worked together all game. But we need each other. And Sarah, well, fuck her.
She did, and it's also and to be fair, it's not like, yes, they haven't won recently, but they still do have Megs and they still do have and Liv, right, who can win things. And as currently stands, Liv, it's early, but like Liv has a great shot at this HOH. So
like you strengthen your odds of winning something by keeping Sarah,
right?
And she's not Ryan Taylor good. She's not winning everything she fucking touches. So it's not right. And the whole big fear about Sarah throughout the night was like, if we keep her, she's just going to keep on winning and she'll be at the end. And I'm like, Sarah has lost plenty of challenges. There's been some challenges where she's been dead last.
Yeah.
Like, and that's okay. It's just these people, again.
Well, it was train of thought.
I think there was another challenge where she didn't do very well. But Sarah's not this unbeatable force that if you let her slide this once, then you're never going to have another shot. It was just odd that everyone made Sarah out to be this like Goliath of a competitor when I just don't think she's that. I mean, she's great. Don't get me wrong, but she's not unbeatable. And it was just and again, I'm not saying that they should have saved Sarah or not. I see both sides of like someone like Liv and Megs who are like, I can be the competitive force on our side with Sarah gone. Sure, Sarah gone also gives me better odds of winning more challenges moving forward. But as Liv and Megs have shown, they're not great at everything. They suffer sometimes. And like,
right, and there's also the argument to be made about the shield of it all. It's like now with Sarah gone, it is Liv and Megs on that side.
Yeah, like if Lamont or Louise or Nikki are to win and they want to keep running the comp wheel, y'all two got to go up. One of you's going home. Literally. Power will say something about that, but on paper, without the power, one of you two is going up. So I was intrigued that there wasn't even really, that wasn't being considered. Like the save Sarah argument was pretty much dead on arrival. No one really, like, outside of Liv saying that she has a better working relationship with Sarah than she does with Megan, but her basically saying I'm not gonna fight the house on it. So if the house doesn't want it, I'm not gonna push for it, nor am I gonna stick my neck out there for Sarah. But if the votes naturally find their way there, then I will gladly join them. No one said it.
I need someone just to say, you know what, screw what the house is doing. I'm gonna do what the apartment is doing. Like, I'm gonna do what the outhouse is doing. I'm gonna do what the shack is doing. Okay, because fuck the house.
And there were people who said in their prod chat that Sarah staying was better for them, and it was Liv and Megs, the two people who objectively probably should have.
I mean, if we had a nickel for every kind of situation we find where people vote against what they believe is their best interest, we'd be rich. Literally rich.
Just open your mouth. The chances of other people just agreeing with you and being like, you know what, you're absolutely right. What does Megan actually do for my game besides? Exactly. So like,
love her, but the vote.
That's not a vote when you or Megan. Whenever you watch this, like, it's just.
I love
her. Vote and you can beat her in competitions.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And I'm
that means Megan's going to hear me say that, us say that, and take it really poorly. Not take it poorly, but hear us say that she's like a comp liability. She's not. Like,
no, she's not. Oh, there's people way worse at challenges.
way worse.
Way worse. Go watch 16.
Like, she's up against a cast of strong competitors. Like,
And she felt very like down on herself for how she fared in Paralandra yesterday, when in reality she did great.
It just wasn't good enough, but she did well overall. But that's the thing, is it's a comparison contest. That's how this works. Like, Megan is not a bad competitor in the grand scheme of things.
Give me a Megan HOH.
Yeah, with
Please.
this cast, she's just not up to par with people. She definitely is in the lower half of competitors, and that's okay. There's nothing
And
wrong.
that's all to say that I still very much think Megan is going to go very, very far in this,
Yes.
and has a great shot at winning the whole season. So
Absolutely. Like, the comps I think she can do well at are coming up, and I think she can pull out a couple here and there. But yeah, her track record doesn't indicate anything of the sort. But all props to her when she gets nominated, when she gets shocked by Jabbar, like shocked in the sense of, I can't believe he did it, but also she had very little trust in him. So like, how shocked
Right. But now here is tangible action.
Yeah. But when she goes to work, she hops on call with Dancing Queens, and she gets all four of them to be like, I got you no matter what. She gets on call with Nikki, and she's messaging Lamont. Louise is out of commission, but she's definitely still texting Louise, being like, please save me. So she goes to work. She gets the votes. She gets all 7 of them. So all props to Megan here. But I think there were certain things really working in her favor. I think the fact that the renom wasn't known at all today, like the renom did not come out till 8 p.m. and evictions from 10 to 10:30. So no one could have a conversation about the votes until 8 o'clock because no one knew the renom. So from once Megs wins the veto up till 8 o'clock, all people can discuss is Sarah. And I think that really worked in Sarah's disadvantage, is that the only certainty we know is that Sarah will be on the block, and here are all the cons about Sarah. Versus had they had a few more hours to contemplate Megan, maybe we see something else, but maybe not. I don't know. But I think that really worked in Sarah's disadvantage, but also what worked for Megan is this Lamont 5-sum that he proposed of all the BBH17 people sticking together with Jabbar. That kind of has died out with Jabbar being involved because he nominates 2 of them. But Lamont is very much keeping the idea alive that 17 can still work together, because now they make up whatever 4/9 is of the House. Someone do that. Is that 44%? So now they make 44% of the House. So like Lamont's keeping that idea alive.
It is 44%.
So that I think also helps Megan here, is that Lamont and Nikki, while they see both sides, like they see both sides of the coin here, they kind of lean towards keeping Megan to keep those avenues open for themselves. And I think that really is helping Megan out here as well. Ultimately, people let Sarah down easy. Most of them let them know, hey, the votes aren't there, or I just can't do it. But let's get to Megs. Megs tells Sarah about Dancing Queens. She's like, hey, there's a group. We're all together to get rid of Lamont and Nikki and Jabbar, etc. The 5 of us are together, and I feel like if I vote against Megan here, that this alliance crumbles. And Sarah's like, I will happily join this group. I don't know why I'm not being invited to the group. Like, I'm a way better asset than Megan is. Why can't I just replace her in this initiative? Like, I will join y'all. And Meg's like, I'm so sorry, but you got to go. So Sarah goes to the other side. She tells Nikki, hey, there's this whole other group formed together, all 5 of them, against you and your allies. And they all want Megan to stay. If that is not indication enough to you that I am better for your game, I don't know what else to tell you. Nikki tells Jabbar, tells Lamont about it. It makes the rounds because no one can keep a fucking secret. But the other side just doesn't see that if they give Sarah a chance to say, they just don't think that she'd actually join them. They just think that she would just join the other side, like, even though they're the ones that saved her, that they would just still join Dancing Queens and still target them, which I don't know Sarah's gameplay enough to know if she would. I think Sarah would repay the favor, at least initially. Like, if you all voted to save her and she won tonight, I don't think she'd target you. I really don't. I would think Sarah is enough of an honest, I don't know, an honest person to be like, hey, if y'all save me, I'm gonna at least owe you at least a round. I'm not saying it's gonna be forever, but they just don't think Sarah's actually gonna be with them if they vote to save her, even though they see the points that she's making. But ultimately, there's just not enough. There's just no one really in Sarah's corner at the end of the day. Like, there are people who would prefer to save her, Megs and Liv included, and it seems like maybe, just maybe, Nikki and Lamont were seeing benefits to saving her with the whole alliance of it all on the other side. But when you need 4 votes and you don't really hear anyone else echoing what you want to hear, it's just easy just to go with what the majority is saying. So Sarah's evicted 7-0. I don't really feel like she ever had a fighting shot with this cast. But doesn't mean she didn't have some scathing words for Lamont on the way out. Oh my God.
Oh, this is news to me.
Oh, you didn't see this?
Oh, did you not see the message that she sent him?
No, I was like held up with.
Oh, it's so good. So
let's get the screenshot and let's put this thing on right.
Yeah, let me save it here. Let me save the image. Image 8339.
Oh, I am here for this.
I can't believe you didn't see this.
Yeah, I watched her video and like I saw someone in the VL talking about like
no.
She had said, and I thought it was like in the video, and I was like, oh, that was not what I was expecting.
He wanted to call her to basically tell her that he was evicting her because he at least is kind and does that, unlike some people. But he's like, hey, do you want to hop on a call, or are you around? She goes, yeah, I'm around. He's like, want to hop on a call? And she goes, absolutely not. But
I love it.
But this is the message she sends him. Yeah. Oh, not for Colton. No, Lamont. Gotcha. One moment, Sarah. They are going to be making the announcement shortly. This is like minutes before Josh sends the message. And it doesn't really matter what you're preparing or postponing saying. You've lied to me about such stupid stuff in this game. And even at the same time, as you're apologizing for lying, yes, it is just a game, but this is how I know you as a person. Other people in this game see it too. I'll be watching from jury as you exist through those choices. It is just, it's art.
As if I couldn't love this woman enough.
The art of reading, like the art of being so cordial and kind in the most southern fucking backslap way possible. That's how you do it.
Like she ate them up.
It's so good. I love when Southern people just say something that on paper sounds so nice, but when you read it closer, you're like, damn, that was fucking.
They kind of, as you exist through those pause, rewind.
As you exist through those choices.
Sticky note.
Oh, I'm keeping that for the bank.
Adding that as you exist.
Yeah, adding that to the bank of retorts that I send people back.
The next mini I play, I will be ruining somebody's life by saying that.
Like it, and ultimately, yes. Is this stemming from the train of thought of it all? Absolutely.
It started there for sure.
Yeah, and then it got worse from there.
And then I listened to the call between Lamont and Sarah the other night where, I mean, he just lied after lie, like about not speaking to Jabbar, not knowing the renom, not having spoke, not doing this, not doing that. And Sarah like hops off that call, goes to Liv or whoever and says, Lamont just told me that he hadn't spoken to Jabbar and then like the other, I don't know if Sarah put this together. She had to have. It was like Jabbar tells Megs that she's going on the block. Sorry. Did I say Lamont? Lamont tells Megs that she's going on the block. Mm-hmm. And it's like, if Sarah put 1 + 1 together, not even 2 + 2, 1 + 1, 0 + 1 together to do simple math, to be like, how does he know that? I thought that Lamont has not spoken to Jabbar. And just like every little thing, I'm like, Lamont, I mean, you're still in the game, but you goofed a little bit.
Can I ask a question? It's a clarifying question, and like it may sound shady, and I don't mean it to be, but if people receive it as shady, then they receive it as shady. What has Lamont done
in terms of just game?
Yeah,
I mean, he's done enough, and that's something that is sometimes not appreciated. I think people want a social game that is flawless and like you're good with everybody, but sometimes having a social game is being high enough with people that's enough at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Here
Yeah.
he is high enough with people that he's not being nominated. He's made it up to the point that he saved his ass at the split house, but other than that, he's been
I mean, the split house was very impressive, and
like,
I'm higher on Lamont's game than probably that of like Jabbar and Nikki, because he's kept himself out of the limelight, and he's kept like, and yes, he has told specific lies, but when at least your lies are being clocked, you can move away from them at a certain point and own them a little bit more. And I don't know what Lamont looks like against the jury at the end of this, but I think I'd be curious to see how he could craft a narrative that could get him some votes. And I think he could, because he's a very smart guy.
Yeah, he's like, I'm very impressed with how he has positioned himself, and the position he's in right now is exactly the position he's been in all game, which is I'm with my people and I'm higher than them for most of this cast. Like, he is higher than Nikki, Louise, and Jabbar for pretty much almost everyone on the other side. If the other side is to win today, they're not putting up Lamont. They're putting up some combination of Nikki, Louise, and Jabbar. And that's enough for Lamont at the end of the day. And I'm very impressed with how he has moved himself from last pre-juror to in a position where I think for sure he makes live night unless some craziness happens with like the power. But he is sitting pretty on his side in relation to how the other side would target him. I'm very impressed with that. And that's exactly how
he's a messier Megan.
Yeah. He very much has done enough with the people that aren't with him right now to make them feel slightly better about him than anyone else against them. So that's his entire pre-jury game. Like when Preston won, we all thought, oh, Lamont's gone. Doesn't even get nominated. Wasn't even mentioned. When Megs won in round 2, we're like, well, Lamont, you might be in danger. Nope, just high enough, just above other people in the game to stay out of danger. And that's enough at the end of the day. I'm very impressed with that. I'm very impressed with Lamont's game. But yeah, my issue right now is the jury. As much as like, sure, I absolutely agree that like this is a game where people are encouraged to lie, and you know, you can't be super mad when people lie to you. But when Sarah and Erica are two people on the jury who very much valued honesty, again, I'm not saying I don't think either of them are irrational to think that people were going to lie to them in this game. They knew people were going to lie, but it doesn't mean that they have to value it or reward it on finale night. And ultimately, I think that is Lamont's biggest misplay, is that he is playing the game he wants to play, but you need 5 people on finale night to reward you.
Yeah, those 2 people are people that are going to need those lies to be justified at the very least. Because Sarah's thing, and she said this to Lamont in her scathing review of him to him, was that like, you've just lied about the most unnecessary things so often.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. So the kids love to bother Josh when he's on here. It happens every time. But yeah, that's my biggest concern right now is, as much as I don't mind people lying, I think about certain things in this game. Like if you're lying about who you're evicting and sending home, like I just have no time for that. Like I think it's just dumb and bad.
Yeah. Just to finish that thought. Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah. Like they're going to want justification over those lies and like, and to make sense to them, because they did value upfrontness and honesty. They hated lies more than they hated even being left out of things, and they were left out of things quite often, but they could be okay with that. They just didn't like being lied to about it.
Yeah, and again, it's not for everyone. Like I'm fine being lied to, and I can respect being lied to at the end of the day, and like that's okay. But some people don't respect that type of gameplay, and you have to understand your cast and be adaptable. And with how this cast is playing, some of them I worry for how the jury will treat them on finale night. And again, every juror is entitled to their opinion. They're entitled to feel the way that they feel. So if they on finale night are like, you're a piece of shit because you lied to me all the time about stupid stuff, I'd sit there and be like, you are.
Well, and it's funny because Lamont and Jabbar are not even the biggest liars on this cast. That distinction goes solely squarely to Louise in my
Louise circle.
Yeah.
No, absolutely to Louise. But that's the thing, is that
she was lying about lying. It was just like,
oh
yes. And she's committed to the bit. Like no one can be talking about it, and she's gonna bring it up and continue to lie. It's like, babes, we haven't discussed that in 2 rounds.
And my favorite thing is she has not been consistent about anything. So some people know where she's lying. Like she's got multiple. It's like a decision tree. Like we have the first time she big time lied was the Rizzo vote. And the next big time she lies is the Caro vote. And then the next one is the Erica vote.
Yeah.
And everyone has different stories as to those nodes. So you've got Jabbar, who knows the truth about these two, but not that one. And you've got Liv, who knows the truth about these two, but not that one. So you've got all these people who are like, wait a minute, you think it's this? Well, she told me this. So like she has like 20 different stories out there about these 3 fucking votes because she hasn't been consistent with everyone. And it's so fucking funny to me trying to keep track of who she's told what, and it's so funny to me. I'm living for the chaos that is Louise. Is it going to win her the game? I don't know. You reach a point when with lying that everyone knows you're lying, so no one is expecting anything more than that. So she's reached the point of I don't think anyone takes her seriously right now, which could work to her advantage. Which could work for her if she gets to the end, people might be like, you know what? I'm not that angry at Louise because I always knew she was lying and I didn't actually take any of her words, to heart. Versus Lamont, some people like Sarah felt like she had a good relationship with Lamont. So when he did lie to her, that really hurt her feelings. So like Sarah didn't care that Louise lied to her 24/7 because they had no working relationship. Sarah didn't expect anything from Louise. So I don't know. It works.
I could see Sarah coming around on Lamont, and if it was the two of them at the end, hypothetically, like and more because of actually having a relationship. Like I did have like a little I had issue with how Louise handled Sarah because she just ignored her forever, and then wanted to yesterday be like, oh, you guys are gonna want to see this call I have with Sarah. You just wait. I'm like, it's like you don't get to claim that when you're the one that has like,
yeah. Ghosted the relationship. Yeah. I mean, she's also ghosted it with Megan. But again, Louise has been busy. I mean, it's hard. I can't imagine how difficult it is to be playing this game from the UK. Like being 5 hours.
Ghosted the relationship. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no. I mean, she has. She ghosted
the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she's hosting a game. She's 5 hours ahead of Eastern, which makes her 8 hours ahead of people like Lamont and Liv. Oh God. And oh my God, who am I forgetting? On the West Coast. There's another West Coast. Trey, Jesus Christ. Like there's 3 West Coasters. Like I can't imagine being like playing that kind of time differential. Like, so I get some things are gonna fall off the cracks. So I do give Louise a little bit of grace in that sense.
Sure.
But yeah, like you don't get, I mean, we're on this is day 25. You're 26 days in. If you don't have a relationship with Sarah or Megan, I can't give you any more grace.
And you don't get to come in and strong arm at your first call in several rounds and be like, oh, I'm going to show her what she knows. When the reality is everything that Sarah knows about Louise to be true is true.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where we're at. So Sarah becomes our second juror by a vote of 7-0. We currently stand at Dancing
Tomato.
Tomato. We're at Dancing Queens v Phoenix. There's no other auxiliary. There's no outside people. That's what we're at. We're at the 5-sum of Dancing Queens versus the 4-sum that is Phoenix. We're at a side v side officially. No more casualties of Erica and Sarah who really aren't in the power structures getting taken out as like a ha 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 to the other side when really it didn't really do much. So I'm excited to see how this HOH plays out. It's so early. We still got 5 people to compete, but I swear to God, if the Jabbar side wins, I mean, I will be laughing at them in the prod chat being like, and this is why you should have kept Sarah. And this is why, because you fucked around and thought y'all could win without Sarah, and then you didn't. And now you're going to lose again. You're going to go 0 for 3 in the first 3 rounds when you should have, maybe thought about your assets more. But when you're putting your eggs in the baskets of Michael, Trey, and Megan to win some challenges, I'm sorry. Like, choices have been made. Like, love all 3 of them very much, but those 3 have been abysmal for a majority of the season comparatively. Like, yeah. I'm sorry. And even if Megs or Liv is to win this HOH, then they can't win the next one. So it's like, then you're putting all your eggs in whoever doesn't win, and Megs or Liv to win, because I don't think it'll be Megan, Trey, or Michael.
Megs and Liv just need to go back and forth.
For their sake, they better hope. Because I will be clowning them if tonight we crown Louise, Lamont, or Nikki tonight, I will clown them because this is something Sarah absolutely could have crushed. This is absolutely up Sarah's alley. And it's unfortunate they didn't consider the idea that if we keep losing, then
we keep going home.
I would love to like run the comp with Sarah just to see how she would do.
Like, truly,
what you
let's,
should.
it's a new Brant's deal. We're just hosting the eliminated players to see what would have happened had they played. It's just
send the score to Pegs and Liv and be like, so this could have happened. Like, if y'all would have voted, never mind.
I'm not mad at the Sarah boot. I'm not at all. I get why they did it, but if they lose tonight, I'm gonna sit here and be like, I don't know why you didn't consider it. I don't know why you didn't think about this, because y'all, they're just gonna keep losing, and they're not gonna target Michael. They're not gonna target Megan or Trey. They're gonna take out Liv or Megs because duh. Hello. The other three have so far batted. Well, Michael won some app games, but the other two have batted a whole.
Michael was the first HOH.
Yeah, so since round 2, or since the round 1 veto, they have all batted 0. Nothing for any of them. So I just, this will be a very results-oriented eviction. If Megs or Liv is to win this HOH, then great. They made a good decision. We'll have to see. But if they don't, by God, I will.
It's so funny because it was a lifetime ago where Megs and Liv were not together.
No, they were.
No, like Liv said we took down her confessional.
Liv was angry.
She
Liv
was
mad.
I am going to hurt her. Oh, I'm so furious. Like,
I have not seen Liv that angry ever, because she was so furious at how
she changed a shade of red I've never seen on a white.
But I love it. I love when players can forget what happened in the past and move forward. I love that they saw and
it's a shame. It's a shame because so many players on that side of the game have been doing that, and they have not. What's that?
No,
Preston.
Well, I was more or less thinking about how like Megan has shifted her game, Liv has shifted her game. Like Meg's, like at this point, these people have shifted their games, but they've not been rewarded for it because they haven't been winning.
Won. So, no, agreed. I mean, that 5-sum made no fucking sense on paper coming into the merged houses. I mean, like I never would have thought those 5 would come together. Yet they managed to look past all their crap. How Liv and Megan didn't. I mean, hell, most of these people evicted Liv,
right?
Let alone nominate her. When they are the final 2, I'll do it. Honestly, I will live for a Liv and Meg's final 2. Please
bring it. Give it to me.
It'll be the most cutthroat, like final, not in like a bashing kind of way, but just like both of them have had
amazing games,
incredible stories, and like very different ways, up and down, like very rootable characters. Like
I will take it every day.
Sign
me up. I will be sat for every second. I know I said this a couple of teas ago. Like, there's not a single BBH finale I have watched every second of. I will always step away because there's like a question. I'm like, this question's fucking dumb. I'm walking away. Right. Or we're still answering this question. I'm gonna go walk away. If it is and Live, I will not leave for a second. I will not leave. My eyes will be glued. I will take my laptop with me. But I'm excited to see how this side v side war happens. In terms of how long these sides stay together, because I don't know how long they actually will. There are still inroads slightly there for people like Lamont, and then Jabbar has a few inroads. I don't think Nikki or Louise really have anything. Nikki kind of has this idea of the BBH17, but I don't really think that's going to turn into anything. But maybe it will. Who knows? BBH17 is known for the whole dynamic chess moves, rearranging of the power structures all throughout the jury phase. So I won't put it past them if they do. Louise is on her own island. Good luck. Best of luck, my friend. You don't have anyone besides Phoenix. So I'm excited to see how all that transforms. I mean, within Dancing Queens themselves, are segmented. Michael is the middle, and you've got Megan and Megs together in Tasty, and then you've got Liv and Trey together in Karo's Revenge. So even within their own group, they are fractured. And if Louise or Lamont's to win today, Dancing Queens has to turn on each other, and that will be intriguing, because that's what's beautiful about what makes Survivor so fun, is when a bigger group has to turn on each other, and then you start to see the cracks where you stand in your own group, and then the group then dismantles, because it's like, oh, well, I see where I stand. I need to shake up my game. And that creates a whole new architecture. So who knows how this all ultimately comes together. Liv's power is still out there. So even if Lamont or Louise is to win, maybe Liv forces the co-HOH to ensure that one of them leaves. Like, well, if we can't win, I'll force the win upon us. So
Yeah, you got to make something happen at a certain point.
So I'll be intrigued to see what all happens, but we'll have results around 7 o'clock tonight, nominations 10-ish, and then we'll run some more vetoes between tonight and tomorrow. So,
and I do want to say real quick, to quickly eulogize Sarah, who we were very unsure of what was going to happen
absolutely
at the beginning of the season. Carl was the ringleader of the fact that
I was the biggest Sarah denier. It's true. Yep. I was.
And so and I was nervous. Like, I knew what she was capable of, but you just never know. And these people gave her just enough of these people gave her just enough of a chance to get in there and make it happen. She got a little bit of luck along the way in terms of the right people were winning things. I wish that she would have gotten pulled into more directions with more people and more groups, quite frankly, because the groups that she was in were not necessarily the best. And when they were working, they got sniffed out so easily and quickly. And the runway was only so long. But for someone who has not played this game in a long time and did not know a single soul coming into this, 10th place, second juror is really great. And she's going to be a wonderful juror. I'm very excited for whoever she gets to question at the final two. I can't wait.
And again, had she won the veto yesterday and Megs likely goes home instead, who knows what Sarah's trajectory is? Like, with now Sarah being the best competitor on the Dancing Queen side, maybe even wins this HOH. Who fucking knows what Sarah's trajectory is? So, like, it's unfortunate. That's what I said yesterday. I was like, whoever we lose between Megs and Sarah, it sucks, because both of them could win this game with how it's currently laid out. So it's unfortunate. But yeah, Sarah absolutely proved me wrong. I came in concerned that what happened to her today would be what happened to her on day 2, which is they all just kind of don't give her a shot. They just yeet her out unanimously as the first boot, and then I sit there and mock products. I told them so, and I was wrong. She absolutely proved herself, got in with the right people that won challenges and kept her safe, and that's all that matters. You don't need a flawless social game. You need a social game with the right people, and she had it with the right people. So
you all heard it first. November 9th, 2023, 11:11 a.m. Carl admits he was wrong.
Oh, I'm wrong plenty of times. I come on every day and prove that I'm wrong.
And the other thing I want to say before I know students are about to invade my room is watch the episodes. I've been working really hard on them.
Yes, please. They're in the server, in the important channel, not the important channel, but the important channels at the very bottom. It's labeled episodes. Go watch them.
I'm currently working on Live Nights episode, and there's some really silly things I put in that. Yes, Kadri.
Nothing just stares at you in BBH16.
Someone else was tasked with doing 16. I don't know how far they've gotten.
Look, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Oh, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. All looks at me. So
yeah, Josh will be getting them done. We promise you.
Yeah, they'll happen.
I'll run a simulation in December. We'll run day 0 of BBH16. I'll be sending him confessionals so he can get it done in real time. I'll get them all up. I'll get them all together.
Not with the baby, you're not.
We'll run it back.
Absolutely not. I don't care to see a lot of those people. That sounds so mean, but
no, I
know who you are.
For me, for Josh, for Kadri, we're going to peace on out. We got some more HOHs tonight, so stick with us in the server. And then, yeah, we'll have some nominations tonight. So a jam-packed end of the week, as we have a boot on Friday and then 2 boots on Sunday. So be there. These fucking things kill me. I'm just not going to get this updated. I don't care. Bye, everyone.